And face masks and other personal protection equipment will cost more from November as VAT returns on the products. The Treasury cut it on PPE back in May with the plan to return it to 20% in August, but this was extended to the 31st of October. It's estimated to have cost the Treasury £255 million.
Look at this morning's newspapers this Sunday morning. We're going to start with The Observer. They're leading on the story that we've got as our lead this morning. The more than 2,000 children's doctors have condemned the government over its free school meals stance. There's also a picture of Manchester United striker Marcus Rashford, who's been a driving force of the campaign on the pitch, playing for Manchester United against Chelsea in the pouring rain, as you can see yesterday.
An interesting one on the front of the Sunday Telegraph suggesting that the 2-week isolation period for people who come into contact with someone infected with Covid-19 could actually now be halved to between 7 and 10 days. That's over fears that people are not complying with the test and trace system. There's a photograph too, as you can see, of Donald Trump, who cast his ballot yesterday in the US election.
The Mail on Sunday claims that NHS staff could get the coronavirus vaccine within weeks. The paper says it's seen an email sent by an NHS Trust boss to his staff, revealing that the health service is preparing for a national vaccination programme before Christmas.
Meanwhile, ministers are worried that families may ignore coronavirus restrictions over the festive period. That's according to the Sunday Express. Citing senior sources, the paper says the government believes it's reached the limit with lockdown and will need to ensure that to ease measures, I should say, over Christmas. There's also a picture there of Strictly presenter Claudia Winkleman, as we've just been hearing last night, was the first live show of the new, slightly shorter series this year.
The government is facing mounting pressure over its decision not to extend its meal vouchers scheme for vulnerable children during the school holidays.
More than 2,000 doctors, including many leading paediatricians, have written an open letter to the Prime Minister calling for him to reverse the decision. The government says a further £1 billion has been made available to local councils to support low-income families.
The Welsh Government has said it will review its ban on supermarkets selling non-essential items following calls for the decision to be reversed. Items such as clothes and toys were no longer available to shoppers when new restrictions came into force on Friday. More than 40,000 people have signed a petition for the ban to be lifted.
The isolation period for those who have been in contact with someone who's tested positive for coronavirus could be reduced. At the moment, people must quarantine for 14 days, but ministers are considering shortening this to 10 or 7 days. That's after senior Conservative backbencher Sir Bernard Jenkin joined those criticising the speed and effectiveness of the test and trace system.